Ho, 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 Merry Christmas! This is Fake the Nation, and today we're doing the fun and the chatty. We want to give you conversational chatter for your many holiday parties. I'm your host, Negin Farsad, and this is the final episode of 2025, and the one that should feel the most like scintillating dinner conversation. And we're just going to keep going until we run out of time. So we're switching things up a little bit here on the last moments of 2025. I'm so excited for today's panel. Oh my God. So excited. I've known this one comedian for a while. This is her first time doing the show. I don't even know how that happened, that it's her first time, but I'm so glad that she's finally here. She's got a show coming out with the Vermont Standard because she's fancy like that. And I've seen her on stages around New York City. You can see her around the country. She is so funny. It is the one and only Vicky Ferentinos. Hey, Vicky.
Hey, thanks for having me. Merry Christmas to all and happy holidays and all the things.
All of the things. Also joining us, this very funny comedian who's also first time it is on the show. We're very excited to have her here. She has a stand-up special coming out on Apple and on Amazon. It's called Dead Wife Pretty. It is the excellent Sally Ann Hall. Hey, Sally.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Happy holidays, and I'm ready to get serious about silly stuff.
Fantastic. We're going to take a quick break for just additional merriment, and then we're going to come back and get into it. All right, and let's get into it with topic number one. Every year, Pantone announces a color of the year, and this year's color got people's hackles up. 2025's color of the year is It's Cloud Dancer. If you're wondering what the fuck Cloud Dancer is, it's being described as billowy white. That's right, billowy in a color. Now, Pantone made it the color of the year because they thought the shade would inspire a calming effect, and yet because the internet doesn't know how to do calming, it has sparked controversy. Now, before we get into the controversy, what do you guys think of Cloud Dancer?
Two things. First of all, Cloud Dancer sounds like the most fun disco ball, rainbow wearing, dancer of fun, musical, Afrocentric drumming, all of it. But reality is all of I thought was Pantone was that hair conditioning line. And I thought, really, you're going to go with white? I was like, that seems counterintuitive for money. I don't know. I didn't embrace my white, so why would they? But then I was like, oh, it's like the color standard. It seems redundant. Like, right. We get it. We understand. What are we doing here? We get it.
Okay, so you're just not into this. You feel like it's like a little boring.
I feel like you could have called it Cracker or like Brad or like Lisa Miller or like, hi, our color's Linda Miller and she has no fun and a little bit of racist, but we're not going to talk about it. Like that could have been the name of the color, but you're going to take like Cloud Dancer? Come on. It's like introducing the drag queen like Cloud Dancer and it being like cellophane. You're like, what? What? Come on.
It should have been called Milk Toast.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, so you're also, so I'm sensing that it's boring and that Milk Toast suggests to me that you find it boring.
It's more than boring, it's offensive. It's like...
It is.
Let's take white, controversial. No one wants white to be the color. But then they made it also millennial gray.
Yeah.
It's just two things that the internet is like, ugh.
Like the guy...
They made white more boring somehow.
Right. Well, it's interesting because when you look, for the record, I just want to say this in terms of any conflict of interest that might arise. White is currently my daughter's favorite color, and she obviously takes favorite color very seriously, and I didn't know that she was going to correspond so deeply with Pantone's color of the year. Or is Pantone's color of the year somehow keyed into my daughter's favorite color preference changes? It was rainbow for a long time because she was sort of unwilling to make a choice.
And then she chose the one color that's not in the rainbow at all.
Or as she puts it, she chose the color that represents all of the spectrum of color or something, whatever, scientifically. Yes,
so she's smart.
She's like Florida right now.
So I'm...
She took away the gay. She said, no, but let's call it Cloud Dancer.
Cloud dancer. So I'm wondering.
Just a ribbon twirler.
Oh my God, you have such a. You, by the way, Vicky, have such a like ribbon of light of cloud dancer.
I feel like I'm
your
watching
frame.
you transcend right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
You're in.
But am I, though? I don't know.
So you're visiting us from the cloud called Cloud Dancer.
I am. When they
Now,
called
let's
me a
address some of-
Pantone, I went there. So
Now, some of the controversy that came up online was that it was bleak, that it was boring, that it was tone deaf and whitewashing, which is a little bit what you guys are saying. And so that was the controversy that was sparked. It's funny that any controversy was sparked. I also just think no one needs to have real strong opinions about it. Although, I mean, I think here we are on Fake the Nation with opinions about it. That's like the whole point of this podcast, is to have opinions about things. But at the same time, I just wonder why controversy is... I think the word controversy is something that we need to be removing from the Pantone color wheel. Like in general, the discussion of controversy shouldn't really be attached to color discussions. You know what I mean? I just do think when it comes to just like the thing that's in the color wheel feels like it should just be a fun chat. The fun chat is what we should call it.
I do feel like the controversy is very much manufactured, and like,
yeah.
And when, being asked about it, I would be like, oh, weird, they picked that as a color of the year. But now that I've seen everyone else talk about it, I'm like, you know what? I also got something to say about it too. Milk toast. And I think everybody's energy just feeds into everybody else's.
Right,
and
you're
like,
wagging
you
your
guys
finger.
Care?
Yeah,
I care the most.
Totally. Well, speaking of caring, let's do another bit of caring about two more colors that none of us should have strong feelings about, but we will.
And yet I will.
And yet we will. Benjamin Moore has come out with it. Now, here's the interesting thing. I didn't realize all these fucking places came out. I know Pantone did it every year, but I didn't realize all the other fucking color affiliated things did a color. But anyways, Benjamin Moore got in on the action, and they went with Silhouette AF 655 is the name of the color, and it's a luxurious burnt umber with delicate notes of charcoal. That is their... Going into 2026, I guess that's how they do it. They go into the year with a color. What do you think of this luxurious burnt umber with delicate notes of charcoal as a color?
I think they picked the right color, wrong name.
Yeah, it sounds classist, quite frankly.
It does. I think they could have called it Colorful AF. And that would have been the resolve to Pantone, right? Because it was like, really? Okay, we're going to get
that
hints of
just
all
been
the burnt umber, the joyful Tuscan sun feel with all charcoal.
Yeah, the clapback color name is what we need.
These colors are making me feel poor. The more they're described, the more poor I feel. I'm like, I am not the audience. Right. I'm not redoing my foyer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm not. I don't mean to like put my finger on the scale here, but my favorite color of the year has so far come from the WGSN. They opted for a color called Transformative Teal.
Oh. Behind you looks a little transformative teal.
I feel like I do transformative teal a lot. It's one of my favorite colors. By the way, I didn't know that it was called transformative teal. I just thought it was called teal. And I should point out that they said about this color, they chose it because it reflects a, quote, period of change and redirection. And can I just say something? Now, this is the kind of thing that I want people to bring up at their Christmas and New Year's parties because they heard it on this show. Sure. And one of my friends who loves astrology, but she knows that it can be wacky, said about 2025, because we were complaining that 2025, I feel like I had a very dramatic 2025. There's just a lot of stuff with like family health stuff and like personal health stuff and like so many stories of people like fucking dying from my friends and family. Just like a lot of that shit this year. And I felt also politically not an excellent year politically, which is something we talk about. I know. Vicky's face is turning into like all of the pain of the year politically.
That was,
and so I was just telling her like, man, 2025 fucking was difficult and sucked in many ways, but I'm also grateful for all the many blah, 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 blah. And she said, astrologically, that 2025 was a year of change and so it was chaotic because because we don't settle until 2026, and 2026 is where shit starts feeling better, because 2025 is when we needed a bunch of chaos because we were changing.
I'll believe her, whoever
Because of Saturn and something about Saturn.
I'm going to bank
and
on
other
that.
things.
She's my fortune cookie. I believe her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now if you feel like you had a weird 2025.
Right. Or 2020s.
Or 2020s.
Do we make it through the millennium? We don't know. I'm just saying, we're here right now.
2026 is the year that it is supposed to be kind of starting to feel more settled, more comfortable, better. Like we're settling into the transformation that we started uncomfortably in 2025. So I don't know if that makes you feel better, and if transformative teal does something for you in that direction.
It does.
I mean, I love teal. I'm gonna say all of my, like, any favorite thing I have, color, weather. I'm just going to call it transformative first. I love that modifier.
You're not just
my transformative lamp.
Yes.
Right.
I'm wearing a transformative bra, but I can't show you right now.
I'll be having a
Right.
I'll be having a transformative ham sandwich later for lunch.
Oh my God.
With a little transformative mustache.
Yes, I love teal. So, and also like a fun color. Where did fun go?
Where did fun go?
Why do we need burnt umbers and clouds? I want fun. I want teal. I want to look like I'm in a, like a Disney sitcom teenager's room, just like bright colors.
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, now
I'm ready for that.
Let's take a quick break, and while we take this quick break, I want listeners to really ponder the question, where did fun go? And then we'll be back. And we are back, and we're ready for our next topic, which is word of the year. So we went from color of the year to word of the year. Now, I love words of the year. I love how culture and the English language usher in another set of syllables that have become so suddenly meaningful to us throughout a year. So I wanted to share some of this year's words of the year. Again, this is one of those situations where every dictionary gets in on the action. And we're going to start with Merriam-Webster, who released their word of the year, which was slop, as in shitty AI-generated content. You sometimes hear it as AI slop. They opted for just the elegant slop. Now, I don't know, Sally Ann, what do you think of slop as a word of the year? The way that
it rolls off of the tongue, maybe just your tongue, Negin, but like I loved it. Slop.
I did put a little too much into it.
Not enough, you could say. I love it because it's emotional. It sounds the way it feels, like the connotation, the denotation, they're all wrapped up in this. And I love the way that it's being applied to bad AI art. I think that's awesome, because that is something I detest. Just bad AI art, misinformation made from AI, calling it slop, I think is colorful and fantastic and appropriate.
Right. And I don't know if there's something about, like, what is it, onomatopoeia or whatever, like when the word sounds like the thing or whatever. So I think you're picking up on a little bit of that. But there's something about slop that, like, there is a seductive nature.
Slutty. It's slutty.
It's slutty in a way that you want it and you fucking don't want it, Right. And so I think there's something about that, and it's interesting. It's like, I mean, Vicky, I don't know, like, I've never used the term slop before this year, and then I kind of found myself saying it all the time, mostly because I constantly wondered as I was looking at something whether it was slop or not, because I've been able, I've now more just. I got my hackles up on whether or not things are real.
Sure.
So, Vicky, what's your relationship with it?
I would say slop makes me feel like 2025, to be honest. I know we're not connecting it, but if we wanted to put a word to the year, it feels like slop. It feels like we grew a nation of people who lived on candy corn for a very long time, and then we expected something of substance, and we're like, what do you mean? You got to give us substance now. And you're like, no, we just got slop, and you're going to enjoy it. So that's it. Like, it doesn't, it sounds like it feels, and it means what it is. which is a weird thing because, sorry.
Yes.
It's strange for things to be literal right now, even though most things are if we listen to them closely. Does that make sense? That was deep and a weird. I'm not the astrologer friend, but you know what I mean? It's like, we're going to give you a whole bunch of crap and we're going to make you believe it. Is it real? Is it not real? But we're going to call it slop. Eat it all up. And then we're going to expect you to make some sort of rational choice of something.
The only thing that makes me sad about the term slop is that, like, I used to think of sloppy joes. To me, being the children of immigrants,
the sound of the food hitting like a slop,
and it felt so appropriate. Like sloppy joes are sloppy joes, and I remember just as a kid, like wishing that my mom was the type of non-immigrant. She was an immigrant, and she's not going to make sloppy joes. And I just I loved going over to Jenny Bobenny's house, and her mom would make sloppy joes. And it's funny because this is like such a far cry from that beautiful thing that is sloppy joes. Sure. And I don't want to besmirch the reputation of sloppy joes in any way. And so I just want to throw that out there.
Sure.
I think, if you call food slop, that's an insult to food. But as soon as you put a P. Joe's at the end, everyone's like,
P. Joe's.
Sloppy Joe's. Yeah.
That's right. So dictionary.com also anointed their word of the year as, this is an interesting one, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this phenomenon, but you're both comedians, so I think you are.
Okay.
Their word of the year is 6-7.
Oh,
the sequence of two numbers that emerged as a meme in 2025 among teens and tweens.
And they go crazy, if you say
They go crazy. It started as a Skrilla lyric, and then some other people said it. And then
you did your research, because I had to go through so many deep dives to find out what the F.
Well, it doesn't. Here's the crazy thing, and I think probably why your research was frustrating is that it doesn't actually have like a meaning. It doesn't really mean anything. It sort of reflects the absurdism of the humor of Gen Z, I think, or Gen Alpha rather, because it's even younger. It's like my daughter has said 6-7, and she's 6, so she's 6 going on 7.
I think that it's just that's the sense of humor of all young people. We didn't know why we liked What's Up Chicken Butt. We didn't know why we liked our whatever things. We just liked that the adults didn't get it. So I think it's just because there's more communication. Like when I was a kid, when I was Gen Alpha's age, like I wasn't communicating with the entirety of the world. I wasn't seeing a bunch of videos from all across America. I was just in like our little, buckets. But now that the internet and communication, something like 6-7, a dumb thing, can spread so much faster with young people than it ever has before.
I love this What's Up Chicken Butt.
That makes sense to me. I was like,
that was my big thing.
I was like, that had meaning. This is like, it's like you fed him all the slop and you ended up with 6-7 as they're like, what's the punchline? 6-7. I don't know. Toothpaste and also notebook. Like it's all just random. It doesn't matter. And you're like, all right, it doesn't matter. And
I think the fact that it frustrates adults is is funny about it.
Yeah, I think that's it. And it's funny because, like, I did some reading about, like, teachers responding to it, and they were just sort of like, they like, there's a little call and response element. Like, some teachers will be like 6, and then the kids will be like 7 or whatever, because there's, like, a particular way of saying it that's also, like, part of the joke. I use the word joke very lightly.
At least it's in order. I mean, there you go. It wasn't like 3, 4, like 3, 12. Like, they're like, oh, my God, we're bright now. It's 6 and then 7.
Well, let's see. There you go, Vicky. I feel like you really found the bright side of that word of the year is that it's in order. There we go. Now, here's what Oxford Dictionary had to say about word of the year. And this one I feel like could be the word of the decade. I don't know, but it's rage bait.
Oh.
I know. Oh, my God. What is this reaction from the two of you?
It's Cloud Dancer all over again. We just did a full circle. Rage bait.
I like that because it's two words that existed before the internet, but were never really, but the concept existed of like trying to provoke somebody.
Sure.
Yes.
But we never put it that way. But now it's that term, which is totally like an English term that could have been used before the internet, but it wasn't. Sure. And now it's strictly an internet term, I think is fascinating.
Right. It's totally true though that like whatever like the Boston Tea Party was rage bait or whatever. Like, I mean, you know, like
Sure.
there was like,
Right.
you're right that like we've been provoking people from the beginning of time. This is not something new, but it is interesting to provoke the idea that we're provoking people not in real life, which I think is, I'm going to say more the harder, maybe more of an impressive feat. To provoke people online
for engagement.
is so
Only engagement. Like people will post something
Right.
being like, my husband forgot my birthday. And then they are like, and then people are commenting, and then they're like defending their husband or whatever. And they're like, that's rage bait. You're just trying to piss people off, not to start a dialogue, just to get comments, just to get engagement on your own thing. I think that's specifically what rage bait's for, not necessarily.
Right. There's the online currency phenomenon too, which is the clicks. Right.
Well, people created whole personalities, businesses. I mean, their whole thing is based on rage bait. Political careers. I'm just saying, like you're appealing to the lowest common denominator of humanity, right? I mean, if you think about it,
you know, there's like, you know, there's sort of like pundit names that come up and podcaster names that come up a lot that, you know, we've heard about in the last year that just feel like you're right, entire careers based on, let me say something incendiary and let's hope it goes viral, you know, and in some way I will earn money around the bend by angering everybody.
I want to say it's like empty calories and it won't last. I'm just waiting for the karmic finish of it.
But that's the thing about like TikTok is that those clicks immediately translate into money.
Right.
Like your thing goes viral. That's money in your bank immediately right now. It's like we've gotten rid of like the long haul, the long game. So now people are like, oh, the only videos of mine that do well are when I say something a little controversial or rage baity, or people, you know what people start doing? And it's working. I'm enraged. You're like,
I'm furious about this.
They will mispronounce a word. In something. Like they'll mispronounce someone's name.
Oh, so they'll do that on purpose?
So that everyone runs to the comments to go, it's pronounced this, because the more comments you get, the more your engagement goes up. So people will be like, oh, you were born in October? I love Capricorns.
Oh.
And then keep going. Just slip it in there. And then everyone will be like, that's actually Libra or Scorpio or whatever. And then like people will get, and that I feel like is a form of rage baiting, and I didn't realize it was happening. I feel so
Wait, when did you hear about this? Because I feel like you're blowing my mind right now that people will do something like that on purpose to get comments.
I know, and I'm mad I hadn't thought of it first.
Yeah.
I know.
I need engagement.
Cut to me doing that in my next several videos.
And I'm like, sorry about putting up
Christmas on the 24th.
Charade.
Yes.
I'm going to put this in my vase. Look at these beautiful
All
flowers
right,
in my vase.
Good one. Right.
Oh, man.
All right.
See, that would work, because I'd be like, it's actually Sally Ann. Like,
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Okay.
Comment more?
Yeah.
There's a few more that I wanted to run by you guys. Or let's see if you have a relationship to any of these. I don't know who put this one out, but vibe coding. I've actually never heard of that, and it's a little like LLM.
I'm not very cool. I don't.
No, it's
think
like a language
coding.
prompt for AI to generate functional code, but using an outcome of vibes. I don't know, focusing on the desired outcome or vibe rather than syntax. Whatever. I don't understand that one.
I feel like people being like, I want it to give the vibe of like a breezy ocean.
Yeah, but it's
I
like
feel
coding.
like vibe coding met like rage baiting at the park and rage baiting one every effing time. And it was like vibe coding showed up with like brownies and candles and like, what do you mean? We're just going to talk about it. And the rage baiting's like, really? Because we brought a tank. Like, that's
painted cloud dancer.
Exactly. Cue in the cloud dancers.
Well, so here's another one from Oxford. I don't know whose word of the The Economist made this their word of the year 2024, but I actually believe that it should be 2025's word of the year because they've heard it so much. Kakistocracy, which is a government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state.
Oh, are they talking about us?
Hey!
Play about us.
Fact.
Come on,
in fact, they're talking about us. Kakistan.
Okay,
You just did
I made it Greek. I made it I did our own rage baiting.
Wait,
Sorry.
can you say the word really slow, like I'm a dumb person who's
like,
never heard it?
I'm wearing a sign.
For dumb people who have never heard it, it's kakistocracy with a K.
Kakistocracy.
Like cacophony?
Yes.
Kakistocracy?
Kakistocracy.
Being like a government that's really hard on the ears and you don't want to listen anymore.
Or everyone's wearing khaki pants.
Oh.
It's like you
Which
can...
one's worse?
And Cambridge Dictionary's word, which I feel like is a little old at this point, is parasocial.
Parasocial.
Which
Oh,
is
I
like the
love that.
relation, is the relationship you have when you're listening to a podcast and you've been listening to them for years and you're like, oh, I feel like I know you. I have a parasocial relationship with you. And I feel like I have that with various podcasters. And people have come up to me at shows and stuff like that. But like, oh, I have a parasocial relationship with you. I feel like we're friends, And the funny
how
thing
does that
is,
make you feel? I've never had someone have a parasocial relationship with me.
Do you brush
before.
them off? Are you worried? Are you nervous
No,
or feel
I
embraced?
Feed your ego.
you know what? Because
What's
I
their
feel...
color?
I know. First, I ask him what's their color of the year, and if it's anywhere near Cloud Dancer,
You're like,
I'm
I
like,
gotta
you're
go.
out.
You're like, wrong friendship.
Parasocial relationship.
I
cut
got
off.
no time
No,
for this.
I actually, I'm quite flattered, and because I have parasocial relationships with so many podcasters myself, I totally understand the feeling, and I am a total fucking extrovert, so it's like I probably would completely be your friend if you were like
Sure.
if you were my neighbor or something, So I feel like I'm a good target for parasocial relationships because I actually like people in general.
I think that makes sense. I think parasocial relationships it's just the reason why people get starstruck when they see somebody, because it's like, I've seen you in my living room growing up my whole life.
Exactly.
Right.
So it makes sense, but it's getting weird online when people are like defending celebrities for doing things as if they were exactly their friends.
But
that's where the parasocial is getting like
Get a little weird,
internety and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think,
Vicky?
unfortunately, people are so disconnected that forget about the para. It's just a social now. People call it a social relationship. and
My
you're like,
best
what?
friend Ariana Grande Butera
Exactly.
did great and deserved that Oscar.
Exactly. She wore that outfit on purpose. Don't rage bait me. Yes.
Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more. And we are back and we're ready for this next topic. There's a new product out there. It's called Telly, and you can get it for absolutely free. It's a television set, guys. But the catch is it's ad-supported. So, for example, it starts with an AI-generated newscast every time you turn it on. And on top of that, the TV, the main screen is connected to a second screen that has ads and is always playing ads or showing like an ad as you watch your regular TV. Roku pioneered this approach. Samsung integrates ads into their smart TV interface. But now the Telly is basically pushing the concept to its logical extreme by like providing you with a free television that is entirely ad supported. Now, we're even seeing it with Roku now, where you pause the screen and like an ad, instead of it just being like the frozen image, it immediately shows you like wool light or something. So I guess this sort of like does feel like the logical next step of what hardware, how it could be funded, let's say. But would you, I don't know, what do you think? Are you opting for a Telly?
That sounds like the worst thing in the whole world. You remember television, like that's just television in the 90s. We just had to watch and we had to suffer through the ads. That we can just do network TV again, but also like ads constantly while something else is playing. Are they trying to ruin our brains?
Yes.
Are they trying to give
literally
everybody ADHD?
Yeah.
Are they trying to suck out every meaningful bit? Because now TV dialogue is having to get stupider because people are on their phones looking, and so they have to be like, we're going to this place again, just so that people can keep up. How much worse is the writing going to get? How much worse is the quality of actual entertainment? Everything's an ad. I think advertisement is just the death of culture. Except for your sponsors, of course. They're wonderful.
But this is, I mean, I don't know. Like
let's bring back reading
I grew up
books.
in the 80s and the 90s. I lived with a lot of commercials.
Yeah. Right. I like commercials. I'd be in any.
I know. I'm like,
I'm
continue
sorry.
to cast me in something. I don't know. There's something about commercials from that era that were both gross, and they led to like a huge culture of consumerism, and also something that I was just totally raised on. So it's like I guess I feel comfortable with that kind of commercialism.
Sure.
And then this, I don't know, Vicky, where do you stand on the telly?
I feel like they searched outer space for intelligent life and found none, and they've searched around here and we don't have any, so it's all artificial. So it just feels like this is the final frontier where we're all taken over, and it's the movie Minority Report, and it's just immediately they go into our brain and send us things, drop ship us everything, right? It's like they should just literally send the money to someone else. Like when they go to pay us, whoever they are, just immediately.
Just tap into my blood and extract the money that way.
Exactly. I'm like, run the scan, be like, send her that. Right. She likes donuts. They're here on Sunday.
Was it Minority Report that had that technology where it was like Tom Cruise would walk by like a vending machine or something, and the audio was targeted to each person?
Yes.
Like they could hear it but only as you walked by it? Mm-hmm. Was it Minority Report? I can't remember. It was some big
and they would
movie.
like scan his eyes if he was going to go commit a crime, and that was the whole thing. Yeah.
So this does, I mean, I do feel, first of all, I can't believe we don't have that device already where like the audio is only
It's Alexa. Can you send, it's there. I'm sure it's in our phones, but we're not talking about it.
And can I also talk to you a little bit about like, okay, so I stayed at a hotel recently. I'm not going to besmirch any hotel's reputation, even though they can probably afford it. But I stayed at a hotel recently that instead of having like the regular telephone to the front desk where you're like, hey, can I get, more towels or whatever the fuck, you couldn't call them like that. You had to use their Alexa. Alexa was like built into every room or whatever. But the weird thing was that like the heater in my room wasn't working, so I kept having to call, and they would send someone up, and then they would be like, oh, wait, right there, we're going to call you right back and let you know what we're going to do. And it was a whole thing, and it took fucking hours, honestly. It was a terrible experience. But like, I don't mean to complain, whatever. But point is, every time they called me and I would like try and answer this Alexa phone, like it couldn't answer, like there was something glitchy and there was something going wrong.
Right.
And so then it ended up having to be that like I just had to like walk down to the front desk and be like, what are you guys trying to say to me? Because the phone is now not working.
Sure.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, it seems like a good idea at the time. Ooh, let's make every room Alexa enabled.
Sure.
How fun for the guests that they
and
can
then they
ask.
don't account for when she's in a bad fucking mood.
Right.
And they don't account for when
she's
she doesn't work.
Break.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like they
tips in the
made
room.
it difficult. Something has become difficult, and it's like, why? Just the phone was not. Just I don't care about all this other stuff. Just the phone. Let's
Sure.
you get back to that regular
what's
ass
wrong
phone
with phone
that used to call the
technology?
front desk.
Right.
And so there's a little bit of like making things too complicated, adding a feature that nobody wanted. I mean,
I think they're just removing people. That's what it is. That's right.
Right.
We want to remove the people, and then
Who answer a phone too
it's
much.
the tippy top person who's like, you know what? That phone answerer is costing us $17.50 an hour. Done. Alexa phones everywhere. Right?
I mean, that was like one of the first automations that happened is these like call menus that we had to navigate even when I was a child.
oh yeah.
And now they're just like, hey, we don't need any front desk people anymore. Just put out a bunch of phone menus and Alexa will navigate them through. It's
And for some reason, I normally have a joyful voice no matter what's happening, except when I call one of those things, and I'm always like, representative. Like, I can't stop. It's like, representative. Like, I can't. I don't know who takes over.
It brings out the absolute worst in me. It brings out the absolute worst in me.
It's my target rage is that specific of like,
and I think like going back to this telly thing, I feel like seeing an ad, by the way, I think it keeps running when you're not watching. And then I also think part of the feature, like I did a little digging, and part of the features that you have to commit to watching like a certain amount.
Sure.
And it just so that you can still get the thing for free, because if you don't do your end of the bargain of like consuming enough eyeball time in ads, then you have to owe for the price of the television or something, right? So it's actually like really dystopian
punishing
product.
you for looking away. That's
so
Clockwork fucking Orange. Watch
Right.
the gummy bear ads.
When I was growing up, you were not supposed to sit like within 5 feet of the TV or you would go blind. And currently I just got reading glasses and I just want to say they're just like, F it. We're going to laser your eyes. It doesn't matter. We'll fix you. Just sit there. It's just there's no like, we're implanting screens on our faces, right? It's like,
yeah,
there's no limit now.
And then this situation, and the other thing I feel like you could have maybe, because I think the idea is like, okay, well, why don't you just put like a towel over it, right? Like you don't need to, why don't you just get the TV for free? You'll put a
do they know when you press mute? I bet they do.
I bet you they fucking do. And I
Sure.
bet you they know
90s
when there's
TV would
something
never.
on the screen. Because the screen probably has a camera that's looking at you, looking at it.
See, that's enough to make me not want to do anything ever. Like that.
Parasocial no more.
Like, is it going to start beeping if you're like, oh, I have to pick up, my baby's crying. Beep, beep, beep. Watch us. Don't look at the baby. Like,
and then you look and the baby's watching too.
And they're
They
like,
got him
you just
immediately.
saved $5
They're like,
because the
I'm
baby
in it.
watched. Congrats.
Yes, they're like, I just ordered.
I just don't feel like any of this is for me.
That sounds like
I'd rather
inviting an enemy into your home, quite frankly.
Right.
Why would anyone do that?
Yeah, I've also turned to that person recently. I was at the train station. I bought something, and they said you can get this item for free if you join our mailing list.
Wow.
And I just like in that moment, all of the choices of my life came flashing before my eyes. Everything I've ever done, all of my, you know what I mean? Just like wondering, like, what is the right move here? It's good to save money, but ethically, I cannot handle being on another mailing list, even though it's easy to get off, even though I don't know how many times they can sell my information before I can get off of that email list, right?
It's every credit card in college I got for like Reese's Pieces. You're like, all right, this makes sense. Let's do another one. I need a Discover card and a water bottle. It doesn't matter. You're like, this makes sense.
Did you really get Reese's Pieces?
Yes, I feel like I got candy for like a MasterCard. Like I was like, all right. Nobody teaches you this before you go to college. You're like, okay, I want a limited card to get a wristband.
Oh,
You're like,
I
what?
totally went into debt on my first credit card.
Of
like
course.
I went to the limit. I paid the minimum for like several months. It was embarrassing how
Look at you
bad
paying
I was.
minimums. My first credit card, I did not know. I thought I had to hit the maximum.
It was like a
I
challenge.
did not understand.
You're like,
I was like, I did it. I got up to $500.
yeah.
And then never paid it, and my credit crashed. And that's, things were just better in my day.
And so that could happen with, by the way, the telly, right? Because if you don't meet your end of the bargain, then you could be fucked and owe money for some television, and it's like, I don't know, television prices have actually decreased since those days.
Yeah, being punished for turning off your TV, walking away, reading a book, doing something productive, and they're like, you didn't watch your ads, little Timmy, and now your family has to pay. That's crazy.
And again, it's feeding off lower economic, right? I mean, it's like people...
Classism.
They're not gonna... isn't that the great divide of it all anyway?
Rich people will pay someone to watch the commercials for them.
No, rich people are going on their own trip to wherever, and they paid for their such and such television. They don't want their
and then the
telly.
last thing I wanted to say about this thing is that you fill out a survey in order to get the free television, right? You fill out some kind of survey with a lot of your demographic information. So they kind of know how to tailor the ads.
Sure.
It's not just that you're watching rando ads all day. The ads are tailored to like stuff that you would feasibly want or need.
Right.
I mean, need, I shouldn't even say, but feasibly you could be convinced to want.
Right.
And so that's the other thing is like how much demographic data that they're like culling together. Sure. And I do feel like you're right. Like rich people...
They're not
first of all,
doing
like
it.
they just don't need a free TV.
No,
they just don't
and
need
they're not there.
TV.
It's not appealing. Why would they be like, why?
No, right. Which I think is which is going to be the next kind of phase, big phase of the class divide is like how much of your life is automated.
It's the alpha, beta, gammas. They're all sending us
and also like how much of your time is free. Like poor people, our time is being taken up by all these ads. We're just constantly watching ads. Sure. I go to a baseball game, like getting out there, and they're like, it's whatever drinks field that I go to now, and I'm just
right.
Pepsi,
Seagram's, whatever.
Fanta.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. Or the lady who took,
I'm gonna go watch like the root beer team. Play the Oreos.
Yeah.
Or like the single mom who took like 2 buses whose kids are watching the thing all day and they have to come home and get the such and such for whatever, right?
Right.
You're like, oh, well, you need a... And she's like, all right, I'll get the thing.
It's,
it's wrong.
well, okay, so Liz, because we don't want to end the show on a downer note.
Sorry, we're cheerful.
We're cheerful, and I would love for you guys to give, what is your like note of hope and cheer to end the year? Is there something, a piece of advice or something that you are like planning to do yourself going into the new year that is how you're gonna kind of like tackle 2026?
Honestly, reading. I'm going to start reading again. Because you know what? Everyone's like, I just need constant entertainment. Quick. Oh, but I want it to be free. Okay, so I have to watch ads. So I'll have to watch things I don't like to watch the things that I do like. And you know, like books, you can just...
Can I just tell you, this morning I was on the subway here in New York City, and there was a man who was just like, everyone was on their phone, right? And I like to stare at people and like see what's going on and see if I can eavesdrop on a conversation. Like, that's my deal. But I looked around and there was a guy, and he had a very thick tome in his hands, and he was just quietly, and he was a decent looking man, but with that book in his hands, honestly, I was like, ladies have got to want to jump that guy. He was so elegantly reading this very large book on the subway. It just looked, I was like, that's hot. That's so hot.
Okay,
Come
watch
on.
that book be Mein Kampf or something.
I know. Who knows what the book was? But anyways, I think men, if you want to get the attention of a certain type of lady, I'd say whip that book out. Hey.
Whip that book out.
In 2026. I like that one. Reading. Okay, Vicky, what do you got?
Mine's like, I know it sounds very like burn a candle, but I definitely like own your power and keep on trucking. I feel like we really have our own truth if we keep on moving and don't like, just keep doing it and just keep going. Keep moving forward. I feel like I had a moment of solitude in my life for a bit. I lived in Vermont. I loved it. I refound community, which I needed after the 2016 election. But anyway, and I went through a bunch of life that was some up, some down, a bunch of health things and all. And now I'm like, okay, like just do it now. You found this peace. Just keep moving now.
And according to my astrology friend, now's exactly the time to really fucking do it. Yeah, is the time. It's the time.
Well, then I'm going to be my own cloud dancer. Full of glitter and rainbows.
Yes. And
we're reclaiming that color. Not that color, but that name.
The Cloud Dancer.
I bet
there's a book called Cloud Dancer somewhere.
Probably.
Or will be.
There must be. And I want to throw mine into the ring, which is a subsect of Vicky's, which is that in terms of like finding community, I think the people's worst fear is that like you should band together with forces that were unexpected to make good things happen for your city, your state, and your country.
Right.
And that's in it. And here's the simple truth about doing stuff like that, volunteering in your own neighborhood, in your own city, is that it can also be extremely fun. It's like a fantastic source of gossip, of cocktail chatter. You learn about people and their things and their struggles and where they live. And it's like so interesting. And so I think for like a piece of motivating optimism and for like a boost of like just that, of like knowing stuff and that just the wonderfulness of like meeting people, you get that out of going out there and doing stuff with people.
Right. There is
that's it. Go do stuff with people.
That's great.
Great time to get a library card. There's a lot of events at libraries, and you can get a lot of like free, like rent-free audio equipment. Like it's amazing what you can get at libraries. So for community and reading, I think
Oh my God, bringing those two together.
Free. No advertising.
Right?
You don't have to watch an ad to get to a library.
When I was a kid, there was something called Hands Across America, which was
Oh my God!
Remember that? And I mean, it was the simplest concept, and like, we need to bring that back. Forget about an AI in your hotel room. Like, just like, be like, okay, I didn't want to answer the phone because I was concerned it was ringing, but like, move past it and like, bake some cookies and hand them out to your neighbors. Like, when I moved to New York City, I like made 2,500 cookies and had cookies and milk in Central Park, and had like to make new friends. It was like the weirdest, silliest thing, but I was like, I feel like basics is good. We need basics. Let's start there. I agree. I'll meet you for
folks,
lunch.
I love all of this, and I want people to follow you and all the wonderful things that they do. Sally Ann, where do they do that?
You can follow me, Sally Ann, at me, Sally Ann, on all platforms.
Me, Sally Ann, on all platforms. Vicky, where do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Vicky Ferentinos.
Vicky Ferentinos, folks, you know where to find me and all the things that I do. Thank you so much to everyone who makes this show a possibility. That's our wonderful producer, Rob Heath. Thanks to Gaby for our theme music. You can email us at fakethenationpodcast@gmail.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/Negin Farsad. And otherwise, we'll be back in your earballs next week.